So the world, well, most of the world, uses the metric system for measurements. Even in the United States, where we've stubbornly kept using imperial units, our scientific teams use the metric system, and we still have several metric units for everyday products you can get in a store. But there seems to be one measurement where the metric system hasn't quite taken hold yet anywhere around the world: time. The world uses a rounded up 24-hour day with 60 minutes per hour and 60 seconds per minute, thanks to the ancient Babylonian-based 60 system. Once the West took over most of the world with imperialism, this type of time tracking became the norm. In addition, with a world market where time is money, having a universal time system is kind of important. But why haven't we switched over to metric time? 60-60-24 seems like such a weird component ratio compared to an even 10-10-10, right? Well, one country tried it, at least for a little bit, and that country was France. So France once had this little small thing called the French Revolution. The monarchy was overthrown, a republic was set up after a really bloody reign of terror in between. Then Napoleon brought things around full circle later on. But during the Republic, the revolutionaries tried several things that were radical at the time. Adopting metric units was one of those things, as they could finally get rid of French inches and French feet, which, fun fact, were different than the British inches and feet, which is why Napoleon is wrongly depicted as short. It's just a unit conversion gone wrong. In 1788, a person whose name I won't attempt to pronounce proposed having something similar to metric time called decimal time. It's pretty much metric time, but just having different names as opposed to metric prefixes. It's really the same thing besides the names. It was brought up for debate in the French Assembly in late 1792, and in 1793 the declaration was made. You have 10 decimal hours in a day, each hour being 2.4 of our normal hours. Then those are broken into 100 decimal minutes. Each decimal minute is made up of 100 decimal seconds. But it didn't stop there. France was decimalizing everything. Introducing the French Republican calendar. The year starts on the autumn equinox of all things. Well, that's different. Then there are 12 months of 30 days each. Each month was divided into groups of 10 days called decades. And yes, those decades became the replacement for week. The names of the days of the week were also renamed from first day through 10th day. Now wait a minute, some of you mathematically astute watchers have noticed. 12 times 30 is only 360. What about those extra 5 days, or 6 days if it's a leap year? Holiday time! Those 5 or 6 days were all holidays at the end of the year and not a part of any month. They were all used to celebrate things like virtue, labor, talent, convictions, and, weird things like that. So how long did these weird measurements of time last? Until September 9th, 1805, after 12 years of being in place. Napoleon decided to end it for 2 reasons. The whole leap year and end year holidays were weird. A lot of ways on how they handled leap years when you got down to it was actually really confusing. And when you start on an equinox, which wasn't always the same day, it just got confusing. And then the other reason was because of religion. The church religiously uses the Gregorian calendar, so the large religious population in France would have to deal with 2 calendars, 2 different ways of keeping time at the same time. So while metric units of measurement for most things were nice, Napoleon went back to normal time tracking. After that, it was over. While some French institutions, and of course the French Commune, tried to readopt decimal or metric time, it didn't last. It just seems silly. So next time someone says it's weird that you like Fahrenheit instead of Celsius, just tell them that you also use metric time, just to really throw them off. I'm Emperor Tiger Star, and thank you all for watching.